Hello and welcome. Today we are in the tier 9 Japanese destroyer, the Kitakaze. We're playing a 10 versus 10 on the map Crash Zone Alpha. I spawned on the eastern flank of my team, so I headed straight for the A cap. Now, there are 4 destroyers in this match, which means that I need to be careful. Kitakaze is one of the most powerful ships in the game for its tier and role. However, you still have to worry about other destroyers, right? Because if a destroyer spots you, it won't just be the destroyer that's fighting you, it's basically everyone on the enemy team that's anywhere close. Because obviously you should take your shots against the destroyers. Also, the voiceover is one of the high school fleet commanders. I'm not sure which one though, I kind of forgot. I'm sure somebody in the comments knows though. Anyway. I play defensively in the cap because it's very common to suddenly have torpedoes on this cap zone, especially since I am RPF'd, which means that there's some destroyers somewhere around here, most likely. But it appears that there's no destroyer, so I guess we'll just push, because, I mean, there's just nothing here. Usually there is something though, this is quite unusual. I'm gonna try torping that Gneisenau that keeps pushing, because there's literally nothing else here. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. I am RPF'd, so this puts me on edge. I'm afraid that there is something here, but there's nothing. I can't see anything. Anyway, as I torpedo, I'm gonna shell. I start out shelling the Eger, not the Gneisenau, because I torped the Gneisenau, and if the Gneisenau starts evading because of my shells immediately, then that makes the chance that my torpedoes hit actually less likely. So that's why I started out with the Eger. But now that I'm behind the island, I can just keep shelling the Gneisenau. I mean, even if the torpedoes don't hit, it doesn't really matter. The firepower will probably be enough to actually just get the Gneisenau outright anyway. Oh, we actually did hit the torpedo. Excellent. But we'll finish off with guns, or somebody else will, because there's a million friendly ships here as well. By the way, it would be better to fire as salvos, but I don't see the need for it, because it's easier. Also, I am spotted while firing, which means that there's likely something somewhere in front of me. What it is, I don't know. I have no clue at all. I'm gonna speed boost though, just in case, because I did stand still for quite a while and I didn't exactly notice when I got spotted. But there is something definitely straight ahead of us. Ships-wise, it's a 7 versus 8 right now, so the enemy has some advantage, but I think positionally it's in our favor. Our Jarvis is engaging the Georgia, which is bad, so now it's a 6 versus 8. Also, we found the ship that was in front of us, the Akizuki. Now, you might go, oh, Akizuki, that's the tier 8 one. Kitakaze is tier 9, so you clearly win this fight. But actually, it's not nearly as clear-cut. I mean, look at the HP. I only have 650 more HP than she does, and we have the same damage per minute output. Well, I have the tier 9 upgrade, but we're really close in terms of firepower and ships. The main difference between the Akizuki and Kitakaze is that the Kitakaze is faster and more maneuverable. I think she's more maneuverable. I'm not actually sure, but she's definitely faster. Like, the Kitakaze's advantage over the Akizuki is not in firepower. It's in almost entirely in being a destroyer. The Kitakaze is just a better destroyer than the Akizuki because, well, she can actually go faster than some cruisers, unlike the Akizuki. So I should be able to run the Akizuki down here, because I am a faster ship, and I have speed boost up, and yep, there she is. Hello, Akizuki. I'm gonna open up. But because I have speed boost, I can probably fire all my 8 guns. Because even if I'm going at an angle, I should be fast enough to catch up to her, especially when she's maneuvering like this. Because you might not think about this, but doing what she's doing right now bleeds a lot of speed. And because of that, I am going full speed at 40 knots. I am able to keep up with her, as you can see. We've been 6.0 kilometers apart for a good 20 seconds now. And she just can't get out. And goodbye, Akizuki. Also, I got unspotted just as I sunk the Akizuki, which means that there's nothing within 15 kilometers here. absolutely nothing at all. Well, probably something in the B cap and the smoke screen covered it, but there's probably not going to be anything for quite a while. And my current positioning actually puts me on the flank of that Izuma and the Duke of York and the Georgia. I might actually be able to just get some great torps on them, which I'm gonna do, because they are obviously gonna push out from there since we hold the B cap, and they will try to lock it. I'm gonna spread my torps out a bit. I'm unlikely to knock out the Izuma entirely, but I'm gonna have a higher chance of actually hitting anything, because I did fire them at a really long range. Thinking of opening up. Yep, let's open up on the... Oh my god, what? A Skåne! I was gonna open up on that Georgia. If that Skåne had just not been spotted and had torped me, that would have been disastrous. Luckily though, is that a stock Skåne? She shouldn't have only 13,000 HP, should she? Well, whatever it is, I'm gonna win though, because the Skåne opened up back against me. Also, she did torp, but... well, I stopped because I saw her. This would have truly been disastrous, but luckily, it wasn't. And I had the smoke screen, so I got her. Oh, we sank the Izuma! And the Skåne! Nice, double strike, hello! Okay, well, now I guess we're shelling the Georgia at 15-kilometer range, as a destroyer, by the way. I do have my smoke screen, so maybe it's not worth wasting it. I don't actually know why I used that speed boost. Yeah, no, never mind. It's not worth actually staying in the cap, right? They still have one destroyer, but that has to be at the A cap because we haven't seen that destroyer in a while, and somehow the A cap is taken by the enemy. I'm gonna just head over to the C cap, just in case, because you never know what happens. By the way, remember how we were 6 versus 8? Well, now we're 5 against 3. Hitting these destroyer shells at long range is difficult. It's actually kind of funny. See, back in the day, when Akizuki released, back then we had concealment even while firing your guns. So ships would have concealment based on their caliber of guns. And Akizuki could, because she has 100mm caliber guns, she could fire her shells at 9.2 kilometers and still stay unspotted. Let's say 9.5 to be safe. She could definitely fire her guns while at 9.5 kilometers from the enemy, and she would not be spotted by the enemy. So it could stealth fire effectively for a very long time. And back then this was considered kinda alright. Like, it wasn't like Akizuki was some be-all end-all ship in the game at that point. Obviously, she has received some buffs. I think it's the penetration part, but it wasn't some kind of crazy thing that you could stealth fire like that, because 10 kilometers was considered a fairly long range. Nowadays, though, ranges are... destroyers engage other ships at 10 kilometers, no problem. Like, I have no issues actually hitting this Duke of York at this kind of range here. And I noticed that battleships and other ships have no problem hitting destroyers at like 12 kilometers either. So in terms of ranges, I think people have gotten quite a lot better in the game over time. Back then it was really rare that people would get these great shots from long range. I think that's also why we got more devastating strikes back in the day. At least it feels that way to me, because ships would be closer, especially cruisers. Anyway, I'm gonna just take the C cap while I shell this Duke of York. Wait, am I not in... oh, I'm not in the cap, whoops. Okay, we fixed that. Now we just need to reposition. I want to point my bow directly towards the B cap, because the last ship is in that direction, and I'm trying to get as much XP as I can, because this should be my last game in the Kitakaze. If I get enough XP, I am gonna get the Haruguma. Well, I've unlocked the Haruguma a million times already, but I want research points. Oh wow, the what was it, Kagero? Yeah, the Kagero has actually defended the A cap, damn. Anyway, I'm just gonna head straight towards the B cap. Basically straight line. I try not to touch my rudder as much as possible. That way I go at maximum speed. Why did the Shiratsu stop? I guess she doesn't have much HP, so maybe she's not confident in engaging the Kagero there, and waits for the Kagero to come to us so Izuma and me can help her. Oh, and I spotted her. Well, she spotted me, but I'm gonna know she's right there. Yep, there she is. Hello, Kagero. Unfortunately for you, the Kitakaze has a very good damage output. Look at that damage. Jesus. Come on, can I get a crack in here? Come on, one more salvo, please. Yes! Got it. Oh yeah, that's a Kraken Unleashed in a 10 versus 10, so I sank half the enemy team. 109k damage, double strike, two bases cap. Solos, by the way. This was an absolutely amazing game for my Kitakaze. Damn. And 2500 base XP? I would say pretty much deserved. That Izumo deserves a compliment. And I think that Kagero does too, because she actually did outplay us quite well in terms of the positioning. It's just that her team kind of fell apart. But it's not like a Kagero could really do much about that, right? Here's the damage, 30k with the torps, not that much actually, but taking out that Akizuki fully was a really good thing for us. We got really lucky, because I think if the Akizuki had actually stayed and fought me directly, I would have taken way more damage. I probably would have still won, but I think there's a good chance I would have died to the Skone, or some combination of that. But I didn't! Here's the captain skills and upgrades: incoming fire alert, last stand, survivability expert, concealment expert, adrenaline rush. Then AFT, I would say these are the main skills you'd want, but even that's already 17 points. Actually, I probably want AFT before adrenaline rush, and the last 2 points I spent on pyrotechnician, but that one's not that important. I think if I get my extra point, the reload one at tier 3 is better. Upgrades wise, reload, concealment, then propulsion. Although, maybe, propulsion. Then torpedoes, because the others don't make sense. Engine boost. You could go engine room protection, obviously, and then main arms modification 1 as well. I'm up to 226k XP, so I can unlock the Haruguma. Hello, Harujuma. And obviously without a commander, because I've done this grind many times now. And when I play a game with the Haruguma, I should actually be able to unlock the Paolo Emilio. Excellent! So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support, and I hope I'll see you guys next time.